What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room. And this is where we at. So, of course, we all know that the government has been shut down. Now, the problem here is it doesn't seem like the word is getting out good enough yet out here. Or the reason why that the government is being shut down and by whom.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
It's a lot of blame going on, and people are blaming this person and this entity or this side, whatever, but we have to get down to the reasons why, everybody wants this money to go a certain way so bad. So we're going to dive off into this. We're going to do a little recap first, and then on government spending, and then we're going to dive off into what's going on now. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
We found that under President Biden, they were spending $3 million for circumcisions and vasectomies in Zambia. We took that out. The Congresswoman says, we're going to shut down government till you put that back in. We found $500,000 of American taxpayer money for electric buses in Rwanda. We found $3.6 million for pastry cooking classes and dance focus groups for male prostitutes in Haiti. I kid you not. I'm not making this up. It was in the budget under President Biden. We took it out. Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez in the socialist wing, the loon wing of the Democratic Party, says we're going to shut down government until you put it back in. I'll just read you a few more that we took out. They are demanding we put back in. $6 million for media organizations for the Palestinians. $833,000 for transgender people in Nepal. $300,000 for a pride parade in Lesotho. $882,000 for social media and mentorship in Serbia. $4.2 million. We took it out. The Congresswoman and the socialist wing of their party says we got to put that back in for the open government. $4.2 million for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex people in the Western Balkans and Uganda. I could spend the rest of the afternoon here. We took all that out. It upset Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. It upset the socialist wing of her party. And now that wing of her party and the Congresswoman are threatening all other Democrats and saying, you've got to shut down government down until we get what we want. And part of what they want is to add this kind of stuff back into the bill.
This is crazy right here. This is crazy. Why are they so gun-ho to spend money overseas for other people over there? Our money that I go to work every day and pay taxes for. That comes clean up out my check before I can even see it. And you mean to tell me I don't give a fuck what's going on here? Or what they're trying to spend it for. I don't want to spend on none of that crap overseas. None of it. That ain't got nothing to do with me over there. Them folks need to make their own money and buy their own stuff over there. This is crazy. Now if we were spending that money at home on whatever we spending on at home, spend it at home, no. But I'm not studying them folks overseas. The hell with them people over there. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm supposed to care what's happening in the fucking Balkans. Are you fucking kidding me? Y'all crazy out here. So we're about to dive off into this situation here and check out what's going on now with the recent shutdown. I just have to give the recap on what John Kennedy said that they was spending money on under the Biden administration, to give you a kind of an idea what they're trying to do with taxpayer money out here, to give you a real legitimate idea. This is crazy right here. Let's keep going now.
I've been trying to find a way to say this politely. I don't really care if I upset anybody, but I kind of do. So I work across the hall from the Department of Human Services in a small town in Texas. And since 21, that place has been a revolving door. There were days that they would have people lined up outside waiting for services. If you don't know what their services are, that's the food stamps and the free healthcare. So that leads me to talk about the government shutdown. And I understand we're going without a paycheck. I get it. And I don't want like my coworkers to get super mad at me for saying this, but I'm pretty sure they are. And the liberals are going to come at me in the comments, because I'm blonde, I'm pretty, and I'm white. So go just Timu Barbie, whatever y'all always like to call me. Anyway, so I saw it firsthand that those services are being abused, and it's not by Americans. It's by illegals, and it's by males. It's one thing when you have a family that is a legal U.S. citizen, taxpayer, that needs help with food, housing, medical insurance. That is not an issue. That I'm 110% okay with that. Like, help people. But I have a huge problem with an able-bodied male from another country coming over here and basically just mooching off the system, because that's what they're doing. They're not contributing to society. They're not doing anything. So that, it really is, it's an issue that needs to be addressed. And if people would really step back and look at this situation, you would understand that that's not sustainable. That's not something that we can keep doing. So if we have to go without a paycheck to fix this broken system, then so be it.
So, I don't see anything she said wrong out here. I don't see anything she said wrong. And another fact that I'm going to throw off in here, let's just keep this honest. American women hate when American men are lazy and trying to use people. They damn sure is not going to tolerate some foreign dude coming over here, using up the healthcare system, sitting around here eating popcorn all day, talking out the side of his neck. They're damn sure not going to tolerate that. They already don't want to tolerate American men that are a little bit lazy out here. Some men are lazy out here that are natural born American citizens. Let's just keep that honest. Some men are. But man, please. I get where she's coming from though. And that's crazy that they're spending that kind of money on somebody that came over here that want a free ride in a fancy car. You know what I'm saying? Especially a dude. They ought to upset men over here, definitely. That we have to go out and abide by the rules of our land, which was, also created by us as men to a degree. That we're supposed to work to provide and do things like that. We're supposed to take care of family and all this other type of stuff. And this idiot gets to come over here, probably with his little family in tow, maybe not, and just suck up all the resources of the taxpayers, and we just paying the money out. That makes no sense to me. I can't stand it neither. So we're going to keep going here because this is crazy.
It's not a conspiracy. I'm losing brain cells trying to fucking explain this to people. They are getting health care. This is where people are getting confused. There's states out there, 14 of them, that have passed state laws. California is the big one that gives illegal aliens health care. Full, not just ER services. Newsom uses provider taxes and he taxes the fuck out of all of these hospitals, doctors, all this shit. He reimburses them and taxes them to the fucking highest degree. Creates higher Medicaid and Medi-Cal payments. Then the feds come in, they match at 90% under the ACA expansion, and they give California billions of dollars. Newsom literally uses this federal influx to free up California's budget for Medi-Cal's huge ass tab of non-emergency care for 1.8 million illegals so he can solely rely on our fucking state taxes. Bro, I'm fucking done. I'm not paying taxes anymore. Fuck this.
She said she not gonna pay taxes no more. To a degree, that's gonna be kind of hard, baby, because since they take your taxes straight out your check before you see it, technically, that's gonna be a little hard. But I get where she's coming from, though. She's pissed. We're all pissed out here if you have logical common fucking sense and know what's going on within our government nowadays and what the hell these people are up to. And the reason why they actually, are trying so hard to shut the government down and stuff like that when they never did this before. They never did that before. You know, they're not just working this hard for illegals. They're working hard for the illegals that are over here. I don't understand it. I do not understand it. But, you know, it is what it is, though.
Democrats in the Senate voted to keep the government closed for the remainder of the weekend. And the question is, are there actually illegal aliens receiving Medicaid? That whole thing is the impetus of our shutdown. And whether you like this or not, it's an undisputed fact that under the Biden administration, there were undocumented immigrants receiving taxpayer-funded health care. Here are the facts. Last year, Medicaid costs for emergency services for illegal aliens skyrocketed 142%, totaling $9.1 billion. From 2020 to 2024, Medicaid spending for emergency services for illegals tripled under Joe Biden, up 196%. In 2023, under the Biden administration, South California's, and I quote, entire healthcare system was being bombarded by illegal aliens and forcing American citizens to endure longer wait times. In Denver, Colorado, the CEO of Denver Health stated that 8,000 illegal immigrants made 20,000 visits to the city's health center in 2023.
So do y'all remember when those illegals in Denver were taking over those apartment complexes and stuff like that? Them people were up there not only living for free, not only broke into the gun shops. Like I said, man, we got to have long memories. Not only did they break into the gun shops, they took all the guns, took over apartment complexes and stuff like that. And they also was eating the shit out of the damn healthcare. This is crazy out here. You know what I'm saying? That we as American citizens have allowed this to go on. I'm sorry, but yes, we've allowed this to go on.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
You know, you've been keeping these same buffoon-ass politicians in office for so long now. They've gained so much power, and money is power, and this is where we at right now. We're being traded off. We're working hard to take care of other citizens around the fucking world. This is ridiculous around here. This is ridiculous.
Left an uncompensated bill totaling over $10 million. The Congressional Budget Office estimates that there are about 1.2 million illegal immigrants receiving Medicaid. Those are just a few examples. So that's why in the one big beautiful bill that was passed a few months ago, the Trump administration and Republicans made sure that those who are not American citizens were not receiving free taxpayer-funded health. Democrats want to add all that money back and give people who did not deserve free health care. If somebody says to you there are no illegal aliens receiving Medicaid, you show them this. Democrats.
So this is where we at, though, you know, and a major issue, and people got to start getting on board with this. People got to start understanding that your taxpayer dollars are going towards this foolishness, and they're trying hard to make sure it goes towards this foolishness. We already had the past 4 years of our taxpayer money being totally washed down the drain for other people that are not even citizens of this country, for other people around the world. And, you know, what I showed you in the beginning of this broadcast, you know, all them, the money that was going overseas for all the other crap that was going on over there, not even for our home citizens and stuff. This is ridiculous right here. I don't see how you people are not appalled that, you know, your hard-earned money that comes out of your pocket goes to all these crazy things. But then, though, too, your rent is starting to go up, your insurance is going up, groceries going up over here, stuff like that, because they're taking all the damn money and sending it everywhere else. This is crazy, bro, and highly disrespectful to hardworking Americans.
Do Democrats want to prioritize the health care of illegal aliens over a government shutdown? Because if the government does shut down, Americans...
Excuse me, stop it right there. We're not prioritizing. What we're doing is saying simply we want to keep the government open, and we want to work with the Republicans and have a bipartisan agreement to keep this government open, and health care is at the top of our agenda.
But are Democrats demanding health care for illegal aliens? That's right.
Democrats are demanding health care for everybody.
So then yes, is the answer to that question. She could have easily said, no, we don't want health care for people who are here illegally, and they need to be removed from our country. She could have came out and said that, no problem. But she didn't. She said we want health care for everybody. That means people who are in this country illegally who should not be here. Also under Trump's big, beautiful bill, there has been $50 billion allocated to rural health. and rural hospitals. On top of that, Republicans have tried to pass a clean CR, a clean and continuing resolution, to keep the government funded while they debate about healthcare and other things. Democrats have said no. They're using the filibuster in the Senate to stop this from passing. So they could choose to have a clean bill that funds the government and just keeps things as they are right now, but they're actually using this as leverage to try to get what they want. They're saying, in order for us to fund the government, you guys need to roll back certain provisions from the one big beautiful bill. So again, Republicans have tried to pass a clean continuing resolution just to keep the government running. Democrats are trying to use this as leverage to try to force policy changes. So they'll use the Senate filibuster to stop this from passing and then claim Republicans are causing a shutdown. It's like sticking a bunch of metal into gears turning and then blaming the gears for stopping. You shoved a bunch of metal in the gears. When they say this is a Republican shutdown, that is a lie. A more accurate term would be a Schumer shutdown, because Schumer and his allies in the Senate are using the filibuster to stop a clean continuing resolution from passing. Anyway, if you...
Right. You know what I'm saying? And this is where we at here, people. This is where we at. And the disrespect is very much real from the Democratic Party. And I don't see how we're not holding these people accountable and trying to see if we can get these people out of office, you know, at some point here, you know, and they got to go. We can't continue to keep having these people fight against us. Our own politicians are fighting against us as American citizens, as natural born American citizens. Your own politicians are fighting against you to feed other people around the world, to give other people money that don't even pay taxes over here. They want to take your hard-earned money and go feed somebody else that's unworthy of your taxpayer dollars.
What the French toast is that?
They're unworthy. They're unworthy. They never will be worthy unless they do the proper things to become a citizen of this country and work hard and pay taxes too. They're unworthy. This is ridiculous out here that we're going to allow these buffoons to run rampant in our government.
Let's listen to my favorite politician, John Kennedy, break down why the government is shutting down. Check this out.
Well, Mr. President, it looks like we're going to have a shutdown. What does that tell us? I'll tell you what it tells me. It's simply that much more evidence that human evolution is a slow process. I thought humans had advanced more as a species, but apparently we haven't. What do I mean by a shutdown? Well, we can't keep government open without a budget. And tonight at midnight, our current budget expires unless we vote to maintain the status quo and continue the current budget as we negotiate a new one. Many of my Democratic friends say, well, what's the problem? The Republicans are in charge. The president's a Republican, and the Republicans have a majority in the Senate, and the Republicans have a majority in the House. What's the problem? They know what the problem is. We can't pass a budget. We can't keep government open just with Republican votes here in the Senate. We only have 53 Republicans. We need 7 Democrats to join with us. So for my Democratic colleagues to say, well, the Republicans are in charge and they don't need us, they know that's not accurate. And that's what's going on. Now, we've had a few shutdowns before, and every shutdown is different, but most shutdowns are a combination of both policy and politics in varying degrees. This shutdown, in terms of policy, makes absolutely no sense. None. What we have proposed to our Democratic colleagues and the minority leader, Senator Schumer, is to make no changes to the current budget. We just want to continue the current budget and keep government open until just before Thanksgiving to give us more time to negotiate a permanent budget. We did that many times when President Biden was president and when the Democrats had the majority. In fact, we did it 13 times. Not only have Republicans done it, but Democrats have routinely done it. But this time, the Democrats have said, no. We want more. And you may be thinking, okay, that's reasonable. What do you want? Well, it's not reasonable. In effect, what the Democrats are saying to us is that we're going to close government unless you Republicans agree to make it bigger. We don't want the status quo. We want you to commit to spending $1.5 trillion, more than you're spending now. And we, the Democrats are saying, are going to tell you how to spend it. More than you're spending.
So this is where we at. So John Kennedy just told you guys that basically, you know, the Democratic Party is demanding that we as the taxpayer citizens give them the 1-point-something trillion dollars for them to spend it as they please. Do whatever you want to do with it. You can send money to whoever you want overseas. You just, you know, it doesn't matter about the taxpayer people. It doesn't matter that people's, you know, rents is going up over here in America. It doesn't matter that we need that money for ourselves to, you know, maintain our budgets and maintain our homes and roads and stuff like that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that we could use that money to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, our rents go down and our life gets easier over here in America. No, that doesn't fucking matter. Because you know what? The Democrats are looking at us like, who cares about these American bastards? Who cares about you American bitches? That's what they're saying. Who cares about y'all? Screw your children's education, you fucking Americans. Screw you. That's what the Democrat Party's saying. We got money over here to get. We want to launder this shit the way we want to do it out here. This is crazy. They're telling you to your faces. I don't see why they may not be using cuss words, but they're telling you the same thing I just said to your face. And y'all sitting around here allowing these people to talk sideways to you. Old ass decrepit Maxine Waters, she need to go somewhere. Her and her motherfucking what's them pads people, them old people wear when they piss on themselves too much out here. And I'm not downplaying that. Don't get me wrong. You know, I take care of elders in my family too, so I know how it goes. But she need to go sit her old ass down. It's time for her to get out. It's time for her to go. You know what I'm saying? AOC, it's time for her to go too. You know, we ain't been hearing too much from old crazy ass what was that? What's that broad's name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Oh, the black chick from Texas. You know, this is ridiculous, bruh. This is ridiculous, man. And they're telling the American citizens that what I just said to y'all faces. And y'all sitting around here taking it and think that we don't need to actually maneuver and fight back and things like that against this basically takeover of the taxpayers' money that we out here work hard every day for. The people that pave the roads, the people that worked in these grocery stores, you on your job or career, whatever you got, stuff like that. These people are telling us to our face, screw you. And that's okay with y'all. But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.